1, 2, 3, 4. Boom! Let's do it. All right. I tried recording this before, and the audio was clipping, and I was like, well, good video needs good audio, so let me try this again. My name is Baratunde. This is my guide to South by Southwest Interactive. We're going to call it South by Baratunde. I've been going for 6 years. This is year number 6 in a row. Kevin Smokler is the guy that introduced me to the concept of South by Southwest Interactive. We met at another conference, and he described this as the Mardi Gras of the online world, and said anybody doing anything interesting in digital is there. So you should be there. And he introduced me around and extended his friend networks and his food networks and his awesome things to do networks. So this is my way of sort of paying that forward with a little bit of scale with this video, because I love this conference. You get geeks, you get designers, you get artists, you get business and marketing, finance people, type people, and they all come together with this little melange called the Spice Dune. Loved it. Anyhow, here's a quick rundown of some of the things I think you should hit up if you've never been there before, and then a general philosophy on how to do it. I've got a blog post up at baratunde.com. Should be available at baratunde.com/SXSW11, all lowercase, South by Southwest, the numerals 11. So I've been coming here for a while. Here's some cool cultural stuff that maybe you haven't checked out. How to Rock panel. It's good for the newbies. First day in the afternoon, one of the big rooms. Veterans will tell you how to get down. It's very worth your time to take notes, ask questions, and get a head start on how not to pass out in the first 36 hours. Do that. Battle decks. People present PowerPoint slides that aren't theirs, that they've never seen before. It's like improv meets corporate schmorpertism, meets performance art, meets comedic goodness, gummy bears. So do that if you can, because it's a fun time, and we're PowerPointed and keynoted out, so this is a great way to mildly undermine that through some art. Fray Cafe is a storytelling event that happens on Sunday night at the Red Eyed Fly. Everybody gets 5 minutes to tell a real, true story. That's the only requirement. Keep your time, keep it true. And you get heart wrench, you get heart love, you get pain and happiness and just real human experiences and human emotion in a way that we often hide behind with all these digital tools that are supposed to optimize our life. Real living is just living, and it's having experiences, and these stories are a window into the experiences of others you may never have heard, so I highly recommend that. 20 by 2 happens Monday night at the Ghost Bar, probably 7 or 8 p.m. You can Google all these things. My name is Baratunde. It's not Google, so you can handle that issue between you and your friend Google to get the exactness. But this is an event where they take 20 people ahead of time who know they're going to have to answer a question. And they come with the answer, but they have to deliver it in 2 minutes or less. Maybe video, maybe poetry, maybe a song, maybe a improvised play wearing pancakes for ears. Who knows? But lots of things are possible. It's a very inspiring event. I also have a couple of plugs. Friday night, Friday's Whiskey Friday. For those who don't know, that is a complex global tradition wherein on Fridays one drinks whiskey, preferably at work. I work at the Onion, and we are hosting a Whiskey Friday party/event at the IFC Crossroads House. I believe that's 7th and Brazos. Maybe it's 6th and Brazos. It's certainly one of those two. Again, Google will help you with the details, but from 7 to 9 p.m. on the first Friday, we will be talking about our TV show, Onion News Network on IFC, going behind the scenes, showing the digital strategy and how we basically create a news event online to drive people to watch the show on air later that night. It involves hashtag trends like cute piglets. It's going to be some cool stuff, so you want to be there. Whiskey will be there, so that's always great. I believe it's Macallan. And we're going to have a screening of that night's episode before anybody else in the world gets to see it. Exclusivity, so you get all your little boxes checked. Whiskey, friends, exclusive access. Do that. Also, as a support layer, there's a company that I'm sort of friends with. You can be friends with the company. It's called Snap Goods. And they allow you to borrow items from your neighbors and friends rather than buy them for short-term or occasional use. So it's a good way to save money. It's a good way to meet people. And it's a good way to travel lighter or to make up for the things you forgot to pack, which we always do. Chargers, power strips, adapters, special cables. before trying to hunt out the local mall, which ain't that close, check snapgoods.com. Maybe they have the hookup. Maybe there's somebody in town who's willing to lend that to you. You set a meetup place, you have some coffee, you met somebody in the local culture, you got your little thing sorted out, you return it, and you don't have to spend a lot of cash out of hand to do that. And you don't have to buy new stuff and contribute to wastefulness. So definitely get hooked up via Snap Goods. And then as a general philosophy, South by's gotten really big, and it's gotten very moneyed. It's gotten very marketed around aboutness style-esquely. And that is a bit unfortunate because it takes away some of the magic. It's a great sign because it shows that what we are doing is important to a lot of people and affects large numbers of people at this point to attract such factors into the equation. So what I would advise is to try to avoid getting caught up in the mix, so to speak. Don't worry about getting into this exact party. If the party I just described to you is oversubscribed, don't feel like you're missing out. Feel like you've just been given an opportunity to create something, to create your own scene on the street corner with the other people waiting in line, to go to that coffee shop right over there that looks a little interesting, to go to that other thing you were thinking of, or just to talk to the person next to you and improvise a whole new relationship right out of it. I'll tell you one story which for me epitomizes the South by experience. It happened last year. iPad had just come out and there was a panel added at the last minute. Something like how to win at iPadding, the panel you must be at, or your boss will be mad at spending the ticket fare, or you'll be mad at spending your own money to be at this thing. How could you leave without going to the iPad panel? What's wrong with you? Don't you know how to conference? It's some title like that. Couldn't find it, was late getting to it, and by the time I got there, I met up with someone else who we didn't know each other. We were excited to go to this thing, walked up the stairs. You believe there was a bouncer at the iPad panel? Doors closed, velvet rope, dude with a walkie-talkie, and I swear, a clipboard. And I'm like, son, what? Are you on the island? This isn't Lost, man. This is real. This is the real plane of existence, and that is absurd. And we glared, and we waited, and we huffed and puffed, and blew our anger out through volume, and it didn't help. And so we left, and we went to a bar, and we started drinking margaritas at 10:30 in the morning. We got to know each other, and she became the first iPad DJ. That was Rana Sabani. That's when we met, and we bonded, and it was spectacular. And we might not have met had we just focused on getting into that room where all the knowledge was theoretically being hidden in this No. You don't pay for the tickets. You don't work to get the badge. You don't convince your superiors to send you to this thing. So you go sit in some room and hear words that you can read on a blog more effectively from your cubicle. You go for the people. You go for the serendipity of bumping into an idea in the form of another human being that has something to offer you never thought to ask. That's the magic of it. That's what all conferences should be like. And in my experience, that's where South by is at its best. So let's call this whole conversation here South by Baratunde. That's my rough rules based on what I've learned from the people who've come before me and what I've learned from the people around me and what I've tried to apply to myself moving forward. This is as much a message and a mirror to myself to not get so stressed out as it is legitimate and sincere advice to those of you I've never even known or heard of that maybe are experiencing this for the first time and want to do it a little better or at least differently than you've done it in the past. So you can find me on all the appropriate tools if you're interested in running into each other on the street and having a spontaneous moment, doing the backstroke on the floor of the Hilton lobby at 4 in the morning, whatever your thing is. I'll be mostly on Twitter and also on Foursquare doing all kinds of fun stuff. But for you, let it be about the people. Enjoy yourself, and if things get too stressed out, walk away. Go to Ironworks, have a brisket. Panels come and go, briskets, you gotta have that right there. That's just a crime to wait. You're in Texas, son, have some barbecue. Have a michelada. Get that Friday Night Lights theme music going in the back of your mind, get all emotional. Right? That show's not about football, it's about people. South by's not about the technology, it's about the people. That's the end of my love-filled rant. I love some of y'all. Peace.